All right, welcome back, everybody. No more rushing. I just finished lunch, and I'm back here for the second half to try and finish this beat. All right, so right now I have an 808 that I dragged in that I cannot get to unmute itself. So I'm just gonna pick another 808 sound and work from there. But in the meantime, I also found I took one of the 808s and made it a harmony. So I think I got a bass line. So I'm gonna add that bass line to it, and then we're gonna rock from there. So we're working on the Masada Soul Sample Volume 1. This is one of the samples out of that pack. And so that's it. We're working on push 3. So let's go. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and consolidate that one. Let's go ahead and consolidate this into one whole joint. Consolidate, and then we'll just bring it over and let's see if it catches. So let's see if I can find another chop. See if I can find another chop. All right, so we're looking for. Let's get out of there. We want to go back home. Go back to. Alright, so we're gonna start from here. We're gonna start from there. Ooh. Alright, I think we got some. Gotcha. So let's take that back forward. Not quite. Ooh, that spins. Let's see if so let's go here. That's weird. That is weird. Alright, so let's see. Let's see what it sounds like without that. Let's see if I can see if I can do it from here. Slice the new MIDI track. Let's do one slice. All right, let's see. started. No, that may work. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, got it. Alright, so let's take that original one out so it don't clash. It don't clash with everybody. So let's delete that. Let's delete that. It is coming from my speakers. It is coming from my speakers and not my computers. I do not have actually I'll tell you what, let me cut that microphone off. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I have my microphone up. So let's see if you can hear it better once I play it back this time. Actually, I'll take that back. I didn't have my microphone on. I just had my speakers on. My speakers is playing into my microphone, so you should be hearing it from a microphone. Let me find my phone so I can hear it. Thank you for letting me know that. All right, so let's go to YouTube. Let's go to my page. Go to my live. Go to you. Let me hear it. Could be possible too. Another thing could be possible too is I got two microphones. I got two cameras, and one of the microphones may be picking up. So let me see if let me make sure I can make sure it's muted. Should be muted anyway. But sometimes they have minds of their own. All right, audio speaker should be coming out of that one. Yeah, looks like everything is where it, yes, there is there is a way to route my my Studio 32 SC into my stream, but I don't like to do it because most times when I come on my stream, my Mac will decide to either use the Mac speakers or to use the Mac camera. I'm sorry. The Mac will decide to either use the speakers or the audio from the MacBook or use the audio from the camera without consulting with the PreSonus 32S. And then sometimes I have triple loop. So the easiest way that I found is just to let my microphone record My microphone record my audio, and then work from there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove my other camera because I think my other camera is probably picking up audio because typically my camera is really good with sound. Um, and I'm in StreamYard. It does have settings on it, but you have to mess with a lot of settings on StreamYard, and sometimes they don't work. I've been on streams where we've been on stream for like 20, 30 minutes, and I had like a particular setting, like in StreamYard, it has like an echo cancellation in, and the people on the other end were talking, and you couldn't hear them based off of the echo cancellation button being on. So I don't like to play with settings while I'm live because a lot of times it could mess up the freaking sound. But I just cut off my other camera, so let's let's do this. Let's bring you can kind of see kind of looking in my lap. But let's do that for now. Let's do that for now, and then let's do that for now and see if that helps the And what I did here too is that freaking that there's a hi hat in there. There's whoo, it's kicking. So that reminds me to mix down that hi hat wherever that is. So let's do that. Yeah, that's just one of the things with streaming, man. Like some days your streams could be perfect, sometimes your audio can be perfect, and some days you come in and it just ain't gonna work right. Trust me, bro. I've been doing this a long time. Like going live. Like before I do my podcast, we go live before we go on the podcast, right? And I can tell you every time, 9 times, well, 8 times out of 10, if I went live on the podcast, and I've came in here and set up my settings correctly to my computer on my Mac Studio. We set it up an hour before the podcast, and then come in on the podcast, and the audio don't work or you can't hear the person on the other side. Um, Set it up an hour before the time that we're supposed to go live on the video, and then come in here and go on the actual podcast, and the podcast audio don't be right. That's why I have you can't see my camera right now because my camera is looking down. But let me show you real quick. Like, this is what saved my life on a podcast at least 50% of the time, because we be on the podcast and we think everything is perfect because we tested it out, and then when I get through with the podcast and I find that the audio is not good, the best thing that could have happened in the studio is to have recorded the podcast on this pod track, because the sound in the pod track comes in perfectly. You can record it perfectly, and sometimes I've had to overlay the audio from the pod track into the video because it didn't come out right on the podcast. And then other times I can come in here and not set it up at all and go on the podcast and have the best sound ever without touching any settings on the computer. But that's just part of streaming, that no time that you on the freaking stream that it's always going to be it's going to come out perfect. So this is one of them days where I don't have time to sit here 2 hours and try to make sure everything is 1000% perfect. So I just need to get the music out, get the stream done. That way it's completely that way I'm done with what I need to do, because I have other music to make during the day. But thanks for the question, and I appreciate the suggestion. By all means, like I ain't throwing your ideas out the way. Like, yeah, a lot of that I do. Done it for a long time, and like I said, sometimes it's perfect. Like sometimes I can come in here with minimal setup, or I can come in here with OBS and it's perfect. I can have OBS with 4 different cameras and it's perfect. And then sometimes I can come in OBS and the shit don't sound. It sound like it's echoing off of the camera. It just sometimes they have a mind of their own. There's also we have Loopback. Also have a program called Loopback. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that. In Loopback, you can actually take your outputs and your inputs and pass them through your computer as a pass-through device, and then you can tell it exactly like if I wanted to play Apple Music through my stream, or I wanted to play like Serato when I DJ. I run Loopback when I DJ, and so when I'm on my DJ setup, I have it on my laptop, and I can pass through iTunes. I can pass through freaking the Serato interface that will run into the computer and then go out into Clubhouse, and it comes out perfect audio. And I'm telling you, the same shit happens with it over there on Clubhouse. Sometimes the audio is perfect, sometimes audio is shitty. So it's just one of them things. So so yeah, I mean I checked. There's another thing too. There's another thing that happens too that y'all may not realize too. That when you're working on a Mac and you're working on a Mac Studio or MacBook or whatever, the Mac has an Apple at the top where it has the system settings, right? And inside the system settings, it has its own complete soundboard settings. Those sounds inside those settings have to be set up exactly correct, because the Mac will switch inputs on you. So let's say, for instance, I start this live, right, and I tell it that I want all of my microphone, I want all of my computer sounds to come out of PreSonus, right? I have to put that in the actual settings of the Mac settings. Then you have to turn around and go into StreamYard and StreamYard settings and the audio, and then also tell the audio of StreamYard to do the same thing, because it don't know. It's a program. It don't know what you want to do, where you want to hear it from, where you want to route your speakers from, all of that shit. So you have that. And then there's a third thing. If you wanted to actually run your Studio Live 32SC into to make it stream from the 32SC, there is another program that you run out of PreSonus that tells PreSonus that is the only interface that you want to run. Now, here's the fourth thing. I have 3 interfaces running in my studio. I have the Volt, the UA Volt. I believe it's a 375 or 475. I have that interface, and then I also have another 2-channel interfaces under my desk. You have to disable all those other interfaces so that the computer don't look for those 2 interfaces, and it's only looking for the PreSonus 32SC. Now, here's a 5th thing. The Push 3 has its own audio interface. So guess what the computer is going to be looking for when you are doing your streams? The computer is going to be looking for the freaking damn the Push 3 audio interface to for you to tell it what to do. So when you are streaming, those are the 5 places that your computer is going to be looking for interfaces. So at all times, you gotta be cognizant of what interfaces you have running, because it will switch interfaces on you. If it feels like, let me give you an example. If it feels like the PreSonus 32SC, let me zoom to that. If the computer feels like the PreSonus 32SC is not working and it can't find the outputs and inputs for it, it's going to switch to the nearest audio interface that it can find. And so what happens is, if anything happens during the stream, it's going to either be looking for this Onyx freaking interface, or it's going to be looking for the UA Volt. And let me show you right now, the UA Volt is off. If it will pan on all the way to the left. right there. Right here. If you can see in the screen, that little orange box right there. It's a freaking 4-channel freaking interface box. It's looking for that interface. And here's another thing. This Zoom PodTrack P8 is also an interface. So guess what your computer is going to be looking for when you're freaking streaming if this PodTrack P8 is on. So right now you can see there's no power on this thing. It is off because I don't want it looking for the microphones. I don't want it looking for the interface. I don't want it looking for any of that shit. So anyway, long drawn out explanation, but that's pretty much where it is. So the easiest and simplest way that I know how to do it is cut all the interfaces off except for the one that I want to use. And then make sure it's loud enough that my microphone is picking up the sound clear enough to pass it back through to StreamYard. So I'm in StreamYard today, not OBS. OBS is a little bit better with audio sound because you can it don't do all of that. OBS is good for that kind of stuff when you are streaming in OBS, but it is one of them things that you got to set up. And today I just thought StreamYard was much easier. But anyway, let's get back to this beat. All right, so dun, dun, dun. That's just one of those things that happens when you are streaming. So, all right, so let's get back to this beat. Let's make sure that sounds good. This beat. Let's make sure that sounds good. Actually, it's up there and it's loud, but it's not even at like 20%. So let's see. Let's see what that sounds like. Now the crazy thing about that PreSonus is only at like 20%, where the speakers is playing in my ears, but I don't hear it as loud as it's playing on the on this stream. So I think that's another thing too that could be blowing y'all ears. Like when y'all hear it, it sounds loud and maybe sounds like it might be the sounds are clashing or whatever, because it's the mics on these cameras is really, really good. Like my camera is way over here, probably about 12, 24, 36, about 40 inches away from my speakers, and man, it sounds like it's pushing and it's going right where it needs to go on the string. But anyway, so we got a verse, we got a hook, and what we want to do is before the hook comes in, I want the drums to drop out. So let's drop out some drums and let's see what happens. We already know just from there, right there, that 808. That's weird. Oh, because I'm in a harmony. So let's find where the 808 is. I see. So it placed all of my chops across the freaking transport. All right. So another thing, guys, another thing that's working that I'm working on right now is my push 3 is in the new Ableton beta mode. So probably some of the things that you're seeing on my push is not available to the regular public. So I'm seeing some things that I never saw on my push. And so I'm just trying to work out. I'm trying to work out a couple things, but I never saw where all of my chops went across the actual transport of the push. And you can't see it because I got my camera off. But so I did do the 808 all the way across to the hook. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do one more thing. So let's do one more thing before we get out of. So we got a verse and a hook. So we got enough to create a song. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our plugins and we're going to. We're gonna go to our plugins and we're gonna add some type of vocals. So let's go to output. Let's go to arcade. Let's find some. I'm just going through some sounds. In the hopes that I find a vocal. We don't want no trap unless it's a trap vocal. Alright, so we're gonna move on. It has an 808 undertone. So the problem with that is that if the 808 don't match with the 808 I already got, it's gonna throw my other 808 off. Maybe that will work. All right, let's try it out. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's see. So maybe if I cut it down just a little bit, maybe. All right, cool. Now I need some vocals for real. So let's go back to Arcade. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Arcade has a sampler machine in it where you can go in and drop your samples in it and it will chop your samples for you. Now, I don't know exactly where that is. Oh, wait a minute. Custom kits. All right, I don't know exactly where that is. I'm not going to spend time looking for it on this stream, but um, Arcade does have a sampler in it. I'm assuming it's like Serato sampler or any other sampler that you have. I know that the Push 3 has the simpler, which you can just automatically pull your samples in and chop. But if you're looking for another engine to do chops, then Arcade has one. All right, I found some vocals. Let's play it and see what happens. Now, what would help is if I was to change the key and then I don't know what key that freaking sample is in. Where is the sample at? There we go. Let's see if I left the folder up. Probably not. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see, where is... Oh, there we go. Volume. Alright, so... So maybe, let's see if maybe by chance, G, bum, 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 bum. Maybe it's G minor. Alright, so let's cut that down just a little bit. Alright, let's put that in the beginning. Alright, where is that at? Okay, got you. Let's cut it down just a little bit and then see. Alright, so we got washer. Let's go back to the washer kit. Alright, we're gonna cut that boy. Alright, so let me save it. It is summertime and I have errands to run. So we're gonna save this real fast. We're gonna call this errands to run. Errands to run 25. ABT for Ableton. Alright, so we're gonna go to my Ableton projects. We're gonna save it. We're gonna make sure that we collect all and save. I was told that's the best way to make sure your samples stay with your project is collect all and save. Just not saving as in Ableton is good enough. So yeah, collect all and save after every project. It will make sure all your samples stay where they need to go. And let's get this off of my lap real quick. Let's go back front, all in. All right, well guys, That's it for me. I appreciate y'all. Good looking out. Much love to y'all. Um, yeah, I don't think I have any announcements pretty much for this week that I gotta tell y'all. So, just make sure y'all do the normal stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you for being here on the live. You can follow me on all the social medias at Beats by Lonze, and you can see what I do other than cooking up lives in the middle of the day. Like all my music is out there under at Beats by Lonze. So if you're interested in knowing where I put music at or where I put music out, um, then you'll find me at Beats by Lonze on everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. I'm everywhere out there. So Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, Mr. X, and Antic Semantics. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm always. It's one of those things where I come in the studio and I say, am I going to work on the MPC first, or I'm going to work on the push first? And because it's right here on my desk, which I designed it that way to be right here on my desk in front of me, it's one of the number one contenders of um, drum machines I want to work in, because I want to put more time into Ableton and a push, because it is one of the more complicated programs to use for me. So I kind of want to just add more of my time into the push and Ableton. So again, much love to y'all. Thank y'all for joining. If there's anything you want to see on my page, leave a comment on the page. I'll get to the comment as fast as I see them. And yeah, if it's something that I think that would be a good fit for my channel, I'd make the video for it. Or there's just a question that you want answered, I'll answer that on my page. Um, yeah, the MV1, I do need to get on the MV1, because MV1 does have a great 808 pack on it. Like the lows and the way that 808 hits on that freaking MV1 is something different, boy. It's something different. And I'd love to have that 808 sampled into the MPC and use that as an everyday 808 for my MPC. And if I can get that sampled out into my computer, then I can use it on machine. I can use it on the MPC. I can use it on the newest addition to the studio, which is the tracker. The tracker. I found somebody on YouTube that is hell with boom bap beats on the tracker. So that is my next thing I am going to make sure that I work on doing boom bap on the tracker. Antic Semantics said that's what I'm doing, and I'm selling it. Yeah, another thing too, I like the fact that you have onboard effects for vocals, and that's another reason that I'm keeping it for the MV1, is because you can make the beats and you can record into it, and you can do that on the MPC too. You can make the beats on it and record into the MPC, but I like the onboard effects that it has for the vocals to make a complete song and just freestyle. So that's what I got it for, and that's pretty much what I'm going to use it for, to come up with, songs that people never going to hear, that I'm going to freestyle on that thing. So anyway, much love to y'all. Thank y'all for being with me for this last hour, and I hope that y'all got something from this live, and I catch y'all on the next time. So with that being said, peace out.